is this beautiful design that features puff stitches that create a zigzag motion and adds a little bit of thickness and texture to your work. On this video, I'll teach you how to do the zigzag puff stitch. I'll be using a 4mm hook and some acrylic yarn size 4. So for this design, you're going to start with a foundation chain that's a multiple of 2. In my case, I have 18 chains. We're going to begin by doing a double crochet into the 5th chain from your hook. So we're skipping 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the next, you want a double crochet. By the way, the chain 4 at the beginning that you just skipped counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. So now we're going to do a puff stitch into the previously skipped chain right behind the double crochet that you just did. So into, let me see here, into this one here. So you skipped 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the first one, we're going to do a puff stitch. For a puff stitch, we're going to yarn over, insert a hook into that chain, kind of going backwards. Grab the yarn and pull up a tall loop to bring you up to the height of the double crochet that you just made. So that's 1, and you want to do that 3 more times. Yarn over into the same chain, pull up a loop, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Yarn over, pull through all of the loops. And this is going to be your puff stitch. You can add more of those repetitions of yarning over or less, depending on how thick your yarn is. And you're going to chain 1 from here. So now we're going to skip the next chain. Into the next, you're going to work a double crochet. Now into the chain that you skipped, you're going to work a puff stitch. So remember, we yarn over, insert our hook into that chain that you skipped, pull up a loop, and I'm going to do that a total of 4 times, so 3 more times. All into the same chain that you skipped. This is my last one here for a total of 4. You have a bunch of loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all of them. Now we chain 1, skip the next chain, into the next a double crochet. And so this is what we're going to be doing all the way down. You're skipping a chain, so into the skipped chain, you're going to have to go back and do your puff stitches in between there. It's a little hard to see them. You got to be really careful when you work this first row because the puff stitches that you work kind of hide the next chain. So you want to make sure that you're really paying attention to those chains of the foundation chain so that you end with the right amount of stitches. So I'm going to keep doing this. The repetition is, technically we can start it at the chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, and then a puff stitch into the skipped chain, and then you go back to the beginning of the repeat. It's also normal to kind of get caught in between those loops, but here we go. Chain 1, skip the next, double crochet into the next, and into that skipped chain, a puff stitch. I'm going to do that until the end, and I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I'm almost at the end of the row here. I have 8 puff stitches and those double crochets as well. And now at the very last chain, I have 1 left. Into there, I'm going to do a double crochet. And so you want to double crochet at the end here because at the beginning on the other side, you have that chain 4. That counts as the chain 1 double crochet. This here is the end of row 1. For row 2, we're going to chain 3 and flip our work. All right, for this row, we're going to skip the first chain 1 space, which is the one between the double crochet, the last double crochet and the last puff stitch that you did. So we're skipping that into the next chain 1 space. We're going to work a double crochet. Now into the chain 1 space that you skipped, we're going to work the puff stitch. So yarn over, into that chain 1 space, pull up a loop. I do this a total of 4 times. Close the puff stitch, chain 1. Now these are going to be easier to make because you're going into the chain 1 spaces, and that's what you want to do all the way to the end. You're skipping the next chain 1 space. Into the next, you're doing a double crochet. You're going to go back to the chain 1 space that you skipped and do a puff stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 1, and then you just repeat this over and over. So skip the next chain 1 space, into the next chain 1 space, a double crochet. You go back to the skipped chain 1 space with a puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there we have it. That is what you want to do all the way to the end. I'll meet you when you're almost done because you want to do a double crochet at the very end. Okay, so I'm at the end here and I just want to show you. I have this chain 1 space, the next one, because remember the chain 4 is a double crochet chain 1. So the very end, I'm going to skip the second to last chain 1 space, go into the last with a double crochet, and now go back to the skipped chain 1 space and do my puff stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, pull through all the loops, chain 1, and now into the chain 3. The chain 3 is what I have here. It's a little squishy, but I have a chain 3 there. So on top of the chain 3, I'm going to do my last double crochet of this row. Okay, this here is the end of row 2. And now all you want to do is repeat row 2 back and forth until you have the desired length of your swatch, or just until you're done your project. Okay, I'm really liking this one. This is a little bit thicker, like it adds a bit of a thickness to the fabric, but it's a really beautiful tight knit look, and it adds these like zigzag puffs that just add a lot of texture to it. Super cool. Hey, while you're at it, why don't you just subscribe to my channel? Just do it. Just do it.